Jessie Flux, and I am a scream queen, and I've been in such wonderful films as Murder Size, Cannibal Hookers was pretty much my first, and Satan Lives, The Rise of the Illuminati Hotties. And I have so many coming out, and who knows when. So keep peeled by watching my, keep it peeled by watching my website, jessadoesitall.com, and you can see all of my updates, all the Indiegogos that I have going on for movies, and all my socials, and you know, any extra links you might think I have. Those are there as well. But you are watching The Phantom of Haunted Hill.
Hey folks, welcome to another video here on Phantom of Haunted Hill. I'm Mike, your Phantom. We're all collectors, most of us, huh? Right? We've collected horror magazines, we've collected comics, action figures. We don't want to call them dolls, and then collecting all them. Your old Aurora monster model kits from the 60s that were awesome. We love to collect, right? And fanzines is a huge part of that. We can go into horror fanzines going back probably at least since the 60s, maybe even the 50s. People have been just putting stuff out all on their own just because they love it so much. Kind of like what I did back in the early 90s with my fanzine, Blood Feast Incorporated. Yes, indeed. But we're not talking about that one on this video. Today we're going to talk about my friend Dave Kosanke. He's from Wisconsin. We're going to talk about his fanzine, Liquid Cheese. And look what we got there. We have Boy Omega right there. And what's that say? Jolton Joe D'Amato and his porn horror hybrids. We got Razorback Records is in this issue. And look at this. Let me try to get a good shot of this if I can. Almost. There's Dave, your editor of Liquid Cheese, with Joe D'Amato. What did I just do to get that to come in for a nice quick second? There we are. Okay. There's Dave and Joe D'Amato. Boy, that would have been awesome to have met him, huh? So we started off with Psychoholic Slag is what Liquid Cheese used to be called. He changed the name to Liquid Cheese with issue 6. Liquid Cheese, a reference to something Al Bundy had talked about on Married with Children. I had asked Dave about that. And of course, Dave being a mad printer, publisher, he also did an X-rated adult magazine called TOSS. And I forgot about that zine. But yeah, that one's for the adults only. But yeah, so Dave's been heavily involved in our horror scene. So I've got my stack here, and I may have more issues somewhere in this frigging mess. So we're going to go through a couple of them. I'm going to keep the ones that are in plastic. So we looked at this one a little. We didn't really look inside or anything, but you'll notice we have, of course, you always got to have your reviews, right? Dave also covered music in here, a lot of death metal and stuff like that, punk rock, I think. I know that was somewhere near the back. Liquid Library for you all you people who like to read. Look at look at that. Dave had money to get a printer. Actually, I think he worked at a printer. So movies such as The Mad Cowgirl. Where else would you hear about stuff like that except from great fanzines like Liquid Cheese, you know? Let's try to keep these in order here. Here's issue 32. That's already censored. We got basket case on the back. Look at these. Here's some old liquid cheeses. Tracy Lords, Carolyn Monroe. What else we got in here? And then he always had the Cinema Wasteland. Since Dave used to always come to Cinema Wasteland, he'd always have his section there that talked all about it, and which is where I met him. And I met him through Ken Kish, who does Cinema Wasteland. Ken's always hooked me up, it seems, with since he knew I was putting out my fanzine, he hooked me up with Sean from Blackest Heart. Sean now does Ibon Press, those Lucio Fulci comic books. And then he hooked me up with Dave. So me and Dave have been friends ever since. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We got issue 33, Ms. 45, the Abel Ferreira film. And then we got good old Mike. Mike. But you know what's so awesome about this issue is, let's see here, as as we turn it, well, we got he talks about like Metal Forces magazine. I used to have some of those. Got a bunch of people holding up liquid cheeses. I don't know how to. I'm trying not to rip it because this was stapled together by hand, you know. So we got more pictures of Dave at Cinema Wastelands. Now look at this here. And then, of course, are you ready for this one? You might know the Phantom's real name now. Look at that. Dave did an interview with me. Can you believe that? That's pretty neat. Some more of my zines, my issues there. And I think my friend Edward, he's also in this. He might be. I haven't gone through these, so. But Edward did a zine called Crimson Screens. So, okay, well, moving along here, we'll just, casually go through them. So look at this. Sybil Danning doing her best Ilsa impersonation. And of course, we got looks like soundtracks maybe, huh? Graveyard, War of the Gargantuans, or is this just no, this is the metal section. This is the music section because it's got a howling on there. Which thing we got? They've always included not just horror, exploitation, X-rated adult films, stuff like look at that Greta from Demons. You get a demon doll. All kinds of cool things in here. And then we got Wendy O. Williams. I think that might be safe to show. Yeah, trust me, that's safe to show. That's that's okay because there's tape over there. We got all that and then so forth and so on. Then we go up to here with issue 36. Looks like some artwork like the dude from Nuclear Death used to draw. Because I have some of his personal drawings, which is how I know it's like reminiscent of that. We got stuff here well, from Dread Records on the back. Mutant. Wasn't Wings Hauser any mutant? More stuff here, more mutants. Just really cool stuff, you know. The Mexicans, zombie Mexicano, eruption. We got see, there's a lot of pictures I probably cannot show here, but there's a lot of cool things like here's some of the biggest posers in the history of music, Metallica. Yes, indeed. And then we got Freddie. This issue and the another one I'm going to show you are supposedly rare, but pretty much on eBay, these are only going for like $10 each. A few going for a little tiny more. This is supposed to be a rare one. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we got, of course, you know, you get some cool shirts. I wonder if there's a way I could do it like this. One day I'll make a professional video. Ooh, look at her day. Among friends, yes, indeed. Well, we better be careful in case there is a nude picture, and like this one here. Yeah, yeah, that one. That one's out. Of course. Then this here, and then here's the other rare one. This one is what issue 39. Is that supposed to be Ethel? And look at this in the back of this one here, issue 38. In case you get so sick reading this, the band, the cardiac arrest, there's a barf bag for them. You can use it. That's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? I used to have one of those cardiac arrest barf bags on my wall, and it must have fallen off somewhere or something. But yeah, this is a rare one. Let's t well, that one's in plastic. I don't want to go ripping them all up. This one's got Bobby Bressie, Mausoleum. We got some really cool stuff. I'll just show you some of the issues here. With that extra, got that Piranha, Ray Harryhausen. Look at that. This is issue 42. Look, we even have some comics in this one. Let's see. What the hell's that guy doing in here? What's he doing in there? Gene Simmons. I hope Dave charged him money for that picture. I'll tell you. And we got this one here with Suspiria on the cover. Got John Carpenter's The Thing. And this is the last issue, number 45, with Night of the Living Dead. I don't even know what's on the back, what movie that is. Looks like Aja. There's Aja Argento right here. Oh, I know that. I know what movie that is. That's Argento. Here we got like reviews on JD's Revenge, The Phantom Killer, Helena. I think these pictures are safe to show. Well, maybe not, but we'll just show that one. That one's good. All kinds of cool stuff. And then Dave started doing some stuff with some artists. He was doing artwork there. And there we have it, man. Of course, the great Christopher Lee. Well, there we have it. There we go. If you want to check that zine out, you can get copies on eBay. I know Dave's not printing it anymore. And who knows, maybe you'll come across it. Somebody will have them cheap at a garage sale, you know. That's what I'm always looking for. Do I ever find that? No. But you know, my eyes are peeled. So there we go. Liquid cheese, huh? I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. And we'll see you next time here on Phantom of Haunted Hill.